Captain Vorn peered out into the smoke-filled landscape. Fires raged as war cries rung out off in the distance. For 60 long years, this planet cradled a hidden malignant cult. It slowly spread undetected until 2 months ago, when its foolhardy leaders made the mistake of believing they were ready to rise against the will of the Emperor. Without hesitation, the hammer of the Emperor came crashing down on the planet, and it was engulfed in glorious war of pacification. Captain Vorn struggled with thoughts in his mind. He couldn't stop feeling pity for the inhabitants of this world. Discomfort came at the sight of ruined schools and cathedrals that littered the city. Anger filled his mind at the sight of everyday objects sitting around rubble and flames. He knew these were thoughts that should not exist in the mind of an Astartes, let alone a captain of the glorious Imperial Fist's 5th Company. He was made aware of the flaw of this type of compassion by the company chaplain. It wasn't long before others in the chapter began expressing concern of Vorn's display of weakness. There were already some within his company questioning his ability as a captain. He was forced to remind them of the stoic valor that earned him the title. It was Vorn who rallied a broken team of 4 Astartes and held off an assault of 3,000 cultists and a warband of traitor marines, led by the hated Iron Warrior aspiring champion, Drax the Butcher. This vile traitor is what brought Captain Vorn to this planet. Rumors of his reappearance raised even more concern amongst the Imperial Fists, and the captain understood that defeating the Butcher would not only prove his worthiness to the chapter, but solidify his virtue as being a rightful son of Dorn. Unfortunately for Captain Vorn, another Space Marine chapter had already answered the call for aid once renegade Marines were reported in the conflict. The White Panthers chapter, a mysterious chapter with very little campaign records known to the Imperial Fists. Their chapter master dispatched 4 whole companies to the conflict, an unusually large number by normal standards, and committing any more Astartes to the pacification of the planet would be foolish. Captain Vorn understood this fact, but given the rumors of his nemesis' appearance, a small kill team with a single mission to destroy the Butcher once and for all was justifiable. And so Captain Vorn gathered together 7 men under his command. Brother Lytus Hagen, who was part of the team that held off the Butcher and his forces in the past. Without hesitation, Lytus accepted the mission. The death of Drax was as important to him as the captain. He quickly armed himself with his favorite weapon, a plasma gun. Brother Tor Mirhan also accepted the mission. He understood how important this mission was to Vorn. He had witnessed the opposition his captain had dealt with in the face of other members of the chapter. He would rain heavy bolter fire on the traitor Marines. In total, Captain Vorn made planetfall with a 7-man kill team. By this time, the traitor Marines had already spread death and destruction for the last 2 weeks. While the cult that had initiated the mayhem was not under the leadership of the Butcher, he quickly seized the opportunity and decapitated every cult leader that opposed his ascension to leadership. And it was his leadership that was able to turn the tide of war on the planet and repel the Imperial Guard forces that were sent to pacify the planet. Drax the Butcher was a remarkable strategist, but his real talents were in striking fear into entire populations with his barbaric displays of dismemberment. It was his effigy to mutilation that increased his military ranks as swarms of fearful men entered his service, as they would much rather die fighting for him rather than face the gruesome death of fighting against him. When the White Panthers entered the war, he too was surprised at the size of the force sent to take control. It wasn't long before the Butcher began to erect massive structures made of human carcasses and topped with dismembered Space Marines. His obsession became capturing a live Space Marine and displaying his tortured body at the top of one of his sculptures. It wasn't long before a battle at the city of Silas presented him with this opportunity. A single Terminator was transmitting a distress signal asking for reinforcement. He had defended the Cathedral of Silas and was the only one left alive, but claimed to be wounded and that the cathedral was too important to be allowed to fall in the hands of the traitors. The Butcher quickly departed to claim what he desired most in the war. Accompanied by his trusted icon of vengeance bearer, Ashrock the Mad, who gained his title for his fearlessness in the face of heavy weapon fire. His sniper, Inigo Foros, who had already taken the lives of 6 White Panthers in previous battles, and finally 4 other vengeful traitor Marines. Captain Vorn and his men also received the signal, and while most of his men viewed this as an unnecessary distraction, Vorn could not allow an Astarte to die. Reluctantly, the team made their way to the city of Silis. Upon arriving, the butcher quickly made his way towards the cathedral when he spotted the barely conscious Terminator. With a raise of his sword, he ordered his men to collect his prize. At that same moment, Captain Vorn and his team arrived at the cathedral. Captain Vorn praised the Emperor as he saw, from far away, the shine of Drax the Butcher's demonic power sword. With a smirk, he raised his power fist and ordered his men into battle. The Butcher caught a glimpse of the familiar yellow power armor. He grinned, and with a loud holler, he ordered his men to get behind the Imperial barricades. They would take cover from the initial barrage of fire, but their chain axes would soon taste Astarte blood. The Imperial fist broke off into two flanks. Lytus's plasma gun lit the left flank as he took cover behind one of the cathedral's buttresses and readied himself. Tor took up cover behind the cathedral and readied his heavy bolter. Marius, a less experienced marine, took a knee in between the two and readied his bolter. Captain Vorn took cover behind the cathedral and directed his men to spread across the right flank. They all raised and readied their bolter. Drax took advantage of his enemy's hesitation and ordered his men to continue through the barricades and closer to the Astartes. All but Inigo moved. He instead readied his plasma weapon and fired at the first Imperial fist he saw. Unfortunately, the plasma shot didn't land, but the Astarte felt the heat of the shot through his incredible armor. The Space Marines on the right flank returned fire with as much luck as Inigo. Only one bolter round landed, but the ancient and powerful armor of the renegade Marines held strong. On the left flank, Lytus fired his plasma gun, but the Imperial barricades absorbed the shot. Marius's lack of experience sent his bolter round flying off course. Luckily, Tor's heavy bolter fired relentlessly at Ashrok the Mad and managed to break the traitor's armor and wound him, but the crazed Chaos Space Marine was able to carry on fighting as if blessed by the Chaos Gods. They returned fire, and Ashrok the Mad got his vengeance as he wounded the naive Marius. Marius felt a small sense of shock as the bolter tore through his stomach, but his superhuman biology kicked in, and it allowed him to continue the fight. Drax the Butcher was drawn to young Marius and raised his plasma pistol. With one shot, Marius's helmet melted almost instantly, and the front of his head melted away. Inspired by the first death, the remaining Iron Warriors fired at the left flank of the Imperial fists, but didn't manage to land a single shot. Without hesitation, Captain Vorn reminded his men the only proper way to honor a fallen brother is to crush his enemies. The Imperial fist readied their weapons for the second volley. Excited at the death of Marius, Ashrok the Mad jumped the barricade and marched forward towards the Astartes, his chain axe thirsty for blood. The two men beside him followed the bearer of the Icon of Vengeance. Drax moved towards his prize, the wounded Terminator. He had to see for himself that the Astartes still breathed. The remaining traitors readied their weapons. Vorn fired the first shot of the second volley and struck one of the traitors. His armor melted away, but his freakish strength didn't allow him to fall. The traitor fired back, but the pain from the shot caused his aim to veer off. Brother Tor fired his heavy bolter at Ashrok, but the Mad's armor held strong. Meanwhile, Inigo landed a plasma shot on the Imperial fist's right flank, but the resilient Marines merely suffered a flesh wound. Brother Lytus had much better luck with his plasma weapon, as one landed onto Ashrok's torso. His intestines melted away, and with the second shot, Ashrok the Mad was dead. The other traitor Marines fired, but failed to wound any Astarte. Angrily, Drax ordered his men to get ready for the next volley of fire, and he called out to one of his men to make sure that the White Panther stayed alive, as he moved and took aim at the Imperial fists. Before more shots were fired, the two Astartes that accompanied Ashrok charged Lytus and Tor. Lytus's quick reflexes were able to take aim at the charging traitor and managed to kill him outright as he charged. Tor was not so lucky, and the traitor Marine's axe came down on the Astarte, but he was able to parry the blow. He now faced a hand-to-hand battle with a deranged Iron Warrior. The rest of the Iron Warriors, including Drax, fired at the Imperial fists, but failed to hit. It was then that Drax the Butcher, who took aim at the captain, recognized the Astartes' power armor. It was the same wretched Marine that defeated him long ago. It was at that moment that Lytus, who had moved closer up the left flank, fired his shot, and Drax saw from his peripheral vision the blue light of a plasma shot hitting the traitor in the jetpack that was guarding his treasure. The Imperial fists on the right flank fired at Drax, but he managed to shrug off every shot. Tor, now fending for his life, was slowed down by his heavy bolter and succumbed to the murderous teeth of the renegade's chain axe. Before Lytus could react, the traitor Marine that slayed his brother was already charging the other flank. Captain Vorn quickly reacted and swung his power fist at the assaulting Chaos Marine, stopping him from overwhelming him. As the captain continued to fight, Inigo fired a shot at the Imperial fist's right flank and killed one of the Marines. His body hit the ground with a loud thump. The rest of the Marines fired back, as did Lytus, who fired a shot towards Inigo and the other traitor, but hit nothing. With his chapter's glory in his mind, Captain Vorn deflected every chain axe swing and landed a powerful blow with his power fist, ending the traitor Marine's life. Before the traitor's body could hit the ground, Vorn turned around and charged Drax the Butcher. Drax fired his plasma pistol, but failed to land a single blow. At the same time, the Imperial Fist fired their bolter at the traitors and managed to kill one of them. Luckily it wasn't Inigo, but he fired at the Marines. His plasma shot did nothing. With Vorn inches away, Drax the Butcher called upon the powers of the warp and summoned a demonic entity from his demonic sword. Captain Vorn's crackling power fist tore through the beast and forced the aspiring champion to raise his power sword in close combat. Power fist met power sword as these two champions attempted to settle their debt. Finally, Captain Vorn managed to grip Drax's power sword with his power fist and shoot the Butcher in the face with his plasma gun. With smoke coming out of the gun, Drax's decapitated body hit the ground. With his leader slain, Inigo understood the battle was over and he fled the city. Upon reaching the fallen White Panther, Captain Vorn realized he had perished during the battle. His name was Brother Vargas Tarek of the White Panther's first company. In his power fist were the keys to the cathedral. The men gathered around the fallen Terminator as Captain Vorn looked up at the massive gates. No holy relic or Imperial saint could create such a defense by a Space Marine chapter. There was something else hidden in this cathedral. The mystery of the cathedral at Silis will continue in another narrative, either story or battle report. For now, we're just going to leave it at that. Next time we visit Captain Vorn, we'll talk more about the mystery of the cathedral. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the narrative-style battle report. This was an actual game played by the Sound Alchemist and me. It was a lot of fun, but the dice rolls and our tactics pretty much decided every single situation. I just went in afterwards and added my own little narrative stories. But the fact that Captain Vorn attacked the Aspirant, that all happened based off of just the proximity of the models and what made most sense. I knew that bringing in my captain into close combat with the Aspirant was the best chance of actually defeating it rather than trying to shoot, because in Kill Team, everybody misses. It's insane. It was a lot of fun to make, but this style of battle report is one that's going to take longer than usual. Really what I want you guys to tell me is what style you guys like best. We put out two versions of this battle report, the traditional Banter battle report version, and then the narrative version. You can find the Banter battle report down in the description below, so if you're curious to see what the dice rolls were, just jump on over there. Now, the reason that I created the narrative battle report is, number one, we're a lore channel, so we love talking about the fluff of 40k, and I mean, who doesn't really want to see something of this nature whenever you have a game with someone? You want the battle to tell a story, I guess. And then at the same time, I've never actually been able to watch a full battle report. 2 hours of people rolling dice has never been appealing to me. If I have it on while I'm painting, I'm not paying attention. And then the short summary battle reports, they're okay, but again, if you're not interested in tactics, they're just boring. So I've always wished that there was a short, aesthetically pleasing battle report, and that's why I'm trying to create this. It's not something that I've seen within the Warhammer 40k community, so hopefully it inspires others, or hopefully I find other narrative style battle reports that I enjoy. But again, I'm going to continue to improve just the look of the narrative battle reports. We're going to be playing a Tau versus Orc battle report with some awesome terrain sent over to us by M3 Studios. So I'm really excited for that. But again, like the shakiness of the camera, the scenes, that's all going to be improved. Now what I need from you guys is to give me feedback as to which style of battle report you guys enjoy the most. Watch the Banter style battle report, link down in the description below or somewhere on the video. But let me know what aspects of each style you guys enjoy and see if I could improve on both of them, maybe combine them, because I did notice that watching the dice rolls and watching the reaction of the player as they roll snake eyes or they roll something incredible, it's a lot of fun and it's entertaining. So I want to maybe incorporate both those elements into one battle report, or keep them separate and just put out 2 different battle reports that you can watch, you know, depending on how much time you have. But again, comment down below. It's because of our patrons that we're able to do things like this. So if you want to support us, jump on over to Patreon. It's a simple $1 a month and it helps us create more videos for you guys. Now, as an incentive to for your feedback, we are going to be giving away this awesome Kill Team box set. This is the box set, the most recent one. It comes with Skitarii, it comes with Gene Stealers. You can kit bash them, you can do whatever you want. I really recommend you play Kill Team because Kill Team is amazing. So the way to win is, number 1, comment down below, let me know what you think of the narrative style. Like this video and share it with your friends. You also have to be a subscriber. Make sure that your YouTube channel is set to public so that we can see that you are a subscriber, and that we see that you shared, like, and commented, because it does show up. So in order to win, just do all those things: like, comment, subscribe, and of course share on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you guys use, and just tag us. Let us know that you're sharing. And you can win this prize. The winner is going to be announced next Friday. I think this is going out on Friday. Yes, next Friday. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and good luck on the giveaway. With that said, this was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.